what's up, y'all? Coach Rock here, the official trainer for I Love Basketball TV. Now, if you remember a few days ago, we released our my first video breaking down how to jump higher, goes through mistakes and how to fix those. Well, after that video, I had a ton of players send me actual videos of them jumping. What I wanted to do was I wanted to go through each player, well, not every player, but go through some different players running approaches, jumps, 1 foot, 2 foot jumpers, explosive jumpers, go through different types of jumpers, point out the mistakes, and then tell them how to fix them. So pay close attention because you might have some of the same mistakes as some of these players. And when those mistakes get fixed, you will jump higher instantly. It's just a proven fact. So without further ado, let's get into the first jumper.
Now let's take a look at the first jumper. So already I can tell that the main reason that he isn't jumping as high as he wants is because of his approach. And if you remember in video 1, I stated that the approach was about 90% of your vertical jump. So if that's not perfect, you're really missing out on inches. Now, what I noticed with this player is the first thing is he doesn't really speed up in his approach. He kind of has the same speed throughout the approach, and then he slows down into the takeoff. So one thing I would recommend for him to do is, first off, he has too many steps in his approach. As tall as he is, he should have about a 4-step approach into his 2 foot takeoff. So he should have, he's a left-right jumper, so he should have left, right, and then the last 2 steps, the left-right. And by doing this is going to make his steps have to be more powerful, and he's going to have to bring more speed so he can cover more ground. So that's the first thing I notice is his approach. He doesn't speed up, he stays about the same speed, and then he slows down on the takeoff, which is a big no-no. Now, one of the reasons he slows down in the takeoff because he has a very short third to last step. Now again, if you remember in video 1, I stated that the third to last step should be your longest step, and it should be your most explosive step because this is the step that's taking you right into your takeoff. So let me just compare it really quick to a jump I did at the gym a few days ago. As you can see, I have only 4 steps in my approach. It's a short approach, very explosive, and then you can see this third to last step is really elongated, forcing me to really bring a lot of power, speed, and explosion into that final 2 steps. I would definitely want him to have his third to last step farther out, so that way he has to really explode into those final 2 steps, into that final penultimate step, so that he knows he's bringing speed and explosiveness and taking all that horizontal speed vertical. So we need to up the speed in his approach, and then we need to have a longer third step so that he can explode into that penultimate. And then probably the last thing I notice here is I would have him start his approach out farther, shorten the amount of steps that's in his approach. So start his approach out farther, still have a 4-step approach, and then I would probably have him aim to jump farther from the rim. If you notice where he's jumping from, he's right under the rim, so he's jumping he has to almost reach behind his head to touch the rim. So I'd want him to maybe jump a few inches further in front of the rim, so he's reaching his peak and he's moving all of his momentum toward the rim, allowing him to possibly dunk the ball when he gets to that level. Alright, now this jumper is a 1 foot jumper, so all you 1 foot jumpers pay attention. Now the first thing, we'll start with the approach, kind of like we did with the last player. We'll start with the approach and get into the takeoff, since the approach is 90% of your vertical jump. Now with this player, what we can see is it looks like he has decent speed, right? And he does a good job of generating speed. The only problem is he's hitting his peak too soon, and by the time he hits his takeoff, he actually has to slow down to kind of control it. So that's the main issue with his approach. He doesn't accelerate into his approach. He kind of starts really fast and then he slows down as he gets into his takeoff, so he doesn't jump as high as possible because he's not taking as much speed as he can. He really slows down. Now the next problem you're going to see with his approach is he has too much forward lean, and this is a big problem, especially when it goes from your approach to your takeoff. If you have too much forward lean, you jump too far forward instead of straight up vertical. So you can see where he takes off from to where he lands his vertical jump is very horizontal, and we want it to be more vertical. Now let's get into the takeoff. Now when it comes to the takeoff, with the 1 foot takeoff, you want a very fast penultimate step similar to the 2 foot. And here it's like he really extends long with that final step. So his penultimate isn't boom boom, it's boom boom. And that's one of the reasons why he decels into his takeoff, because he has too long of a penultimate step. He's going heel to toe instead of staying on the balls of his feet. So here you can see he's actually on his heel, and then he's going to his toe instead of staying on the balls of his feet the whole time. So we want to shorten this penultimate step to make it quick. We want him going on the balls of his feet, and when he speeds up that penultimate, makes it quick, he'll bring in that foot under him instead of too far in front of him. Last but not least, he could definitely use more knee drive. This is something that can really get you those extra inches. If you really drive that opposite knee up, he should be trying to drive that knee up into his chin, up towards the rim, and that's going to give him, a few extra inches. All right, here's another 1 foot jumper, and again, similar issues as the last 1 foot jumper. I can't see his whole approach here, but I can already tell that he's not bringing enough speed, and he really slows down into that takeoff. It's like his speed just dies down, and then he takes off. And once again, what happens is he's not bringing that penultimate under him. He's extending it too far in the 1 foot, and again, he's going heel toe. So you'll see this with a lot of 1 foot jumpers. They have too long of a penultimate step. They go heel toe instead of staying on the balls of their feet. And what happens when you extend your penultimate, it's not as fast as possible, so you end up slowing down instead of speeding up. Alright, now let's take a look at another 2 foot jumper. Now what you're going to notice with this 2 foot jumper is, first off, the main problem is his approach. You can see he takes way too many steps in his approach. He doesn't really cover ground with his steps. They're really short and choppy. And then the next thing is he really decels into that takeoff. So you can see he literally almost stops before that takeoff. So he probably hits his top speed somewhere in the middle, and then when it's time for that takeoff, all of his speed just dies. He goes from about 50 miles per hour to almost 0 on the takeoff. He just really slows down, stops, bends down, and then jumps. So this happens because he doesn't have a really elongated third step, and all of his steps are short and choppy. So once he gets to that elongated third step, it's again short, so he's not bringing any of that speed vertical, and that just kind of kills all of his momentum and any chance of really jumping high. All right, now let's look at his 1 foot technique. It's very similar to his 2 foot technique, with the approach is too many steps, too short, too choppy of steps. He's not going to be able to generate a lot of speed when he's taking that many steps in that short amount of space. The next thing is he's hitting top speed kind of in the middle of his approach, and then once it's time to take off, he really slows down, and he has kind of a slow penultimate step. He slows down, and he doesn't take as much speed as he can vertical. Now here he doesn't do that bad of a job of his 1 foot penultimate. He gets that takeoff kind of under him, but he's still slowing down. So if he could just fix that accelerate into his approach, that's really going to help him out. It's really going to help him jump higher. And then the last thing you'll notice with his 1 foot takeoff, it was kind of there on the 2 foot, but it's really there on the 1 foot, is he's really jumping horizontally and he's not jumping vertical. So if you look where he takes off from, and then you see where he lands, you can see a lot of his momentum goes horizontally instead of taking all of his momentum vertical. And then similar to the last 1 foot jumper, he can definitely use some more knee drive. I think all 1 foot jumpers can use more knee drive, and if he just gets that knee up a little higher, forces it up a little more, he'll jump higher.
I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope there were a few things that you could take away from this video that can help you jump higher instantly right now. Go back to video 1 if you haven't seen it yet, or if you forgot about it. Check out video 1 again. Go through all those mistakes and then those fixes so you can instantly start jumping higher today. Now, in part 3 of this How to Jump Higher video series, I'm going to be revealing to you our brand new V40 vertical jump training system. Inside of the vertical jump training system, you're going to get the entire program, and you're also going to get our first ever V40 vertical jump training harness that you're going to attach to your body, and it's going to instantly help you jump higher. But check this out. We're giving away 10 free copies of this. Yes, the program, everything, the harness, everything. We're giving away 10 free. This is all you have to do for your chance to win. Comment below. Tell me a story of what jumping higher, what dunking, what the V40 vertical jump training system is going to do for you. You know, how it's going to change your game, how it's going to change your life. In those comments below, just tell me your story. Just be honest, be real. And I'm going to pick 10 stories, 10 players that I feel really need this system the most. And then they're going to get the free training system. So after you tell your story in the comments below, all you have to do, look, click this button right here. And that's going to do one of 3 things for me. So once you click that button, it's going to take you to a page. I'm just going to ask for your email, and you put in your emails. You send me your email, and I'm going to send you over our free vertical jump, our brand new software, the Vertical Analyzer. It's going to analyze your vertical jump and tell you which aspects of your jump need to be fixed most. Now, the second reason you need to put your email there, give me your email, is because video 3 is not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be exclusive to those players that took action, that gave me their email and showed that they want to learn more about the vertical jump, and to the players that actually put their story below. The third reason is because that's how you're going to find out if you won or not. I'm going to send you an email, and I'm going to ask for your address so I can send you the V40 brand new training system to your house. Yeah, so that's pretty much how everything is going to go. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up for me, like it for me. Once again, do not forget, comment below with your story. Please, please, I want to see the stories, and I really want to hook up 10 players, 10 lucky players with these free vertical jump training systems, the V40. You're going to find out more about that in just a few days, like 1 or 2 days. It's going to be right in your email, so be sure, stay tuned. Keep your eyes glued to that email, because once video 3 comes out, you're not going to want to miss that. I'm also going to announce the winners very soon. We got a few days, so you have a few days to leave your story. But you know, that's it for today. I'll see you soon.